Alfred Douglass gave this speech in 1852 here in our city of Rochester. Today, we're still out here because we're still fighting for freedom. We're still fighting for independence. We're still screaming Black Lives Matter because our system does not treat us like we do. So we have to think about the history and why we are here today. The violence by the state is something that's been going on for years. It's been going on in the indigenous community, it's been going on in the Black community, and it's going on globally against Black bodies. So we also want to center the voices of indigenous people who understand settler colonialism and how it significantly impacted their community. So up next we have Losanaze to talk about why the 4th of July is a violent lie.
Wakwanu horado ze wakwego. Gari huaya dagu. Wahwadu antge waninega. Dogara diga wanage. Ganigari wesa de yehtino horado. Ne akwego ne roe anadao. Ne hunjake. Ne e wahe. Wetide wadadi no horado. Ne akwego wesu. Ne akwego ladiksa ogumpa. Ne akwego yunkwajira. Ne akwego skana agahage jiti ogwa the wardiye ne ganto honjage the watera one etoji ni ori wage dano de etino porado ne yunkini stahaji honjate ne jisego dayagosta wan hagia ona hoda sua dayun wasne skana a etawanyo dan yunseke one to jiniori wage dano danchi do wanu porado ne son bayadis ne jisego sung wana rumpo ne e yah de henigorokta ne jisego bahni gurare dunze de wadeni ji yung wahni gon roda yotgon yung wahni gon rio dane etonio dohak ne yung wahni gorda to. So, I greet you all. My name is Rochester, and I am from the Bear Clan of the Akwesasne Mohawk Nation. Today we bring our minds together as one, and we greet each other, all people who are here and who have passed. We hold them up in our minds and give thanks to them. We think about someone who absolutely needs to be here and who isn't, and we hold them in our minds. We give thanks to all parts of creation for giving us this beautiful world, for giving us all of the sustenance and tools that we need to live peacefully. Creation will never give up on us. It's still waiting for us to change our minds. When we bring our minds together as one, we can only see this world clearly, and we can only act with a good mind. That being said, the 4th of July is a violent lie. It is written in the blood and the tears of the ancestors of every single Black and brown person, whether they are standing here today or not. Within 3 years of signing the Declaration of White Independence, your president of what would be called the United States of America launched the Sullivan Campaign, a vicious military plot aimed at exterminating Lodino Sunni nations of what is now called New York, Pennsylvania, and the Ohio River Valley. Conveniently, this would clear the way for the uninterrupted settlement of these areas by white families. The idea was to, quote, take the war to the home of the enemy to break their morale. Doesn't this sound familiar? White men in uniform sent to terrorize people of color, to remove us from our homes, from our lands, from our families, from our bodies, from our rights to live peacefully. From July to October, over 50 Latino Sunni towns, they weren't villages, they were cities, were absolutely destroyed. Thousands of families were murdered and or displaced. That winter, countless others starved to death because the generals leading this campaign ordered their uniformed officers to seek and destroy all of the crops and winter food stores of my people. Imagine watching your family starve and freeze to death in upstate New York winter. Imagine that pain. Settlers, this is the legacy of the ground on which you stand today. This is our truth. Doga satatewenniio tshera kaniahe ne hkwen agora akotatewenniio tshera yahki tesatatewenniio. If your freedom depends on taking away the freedom of others, then you are not free. I will say that one more time. If your freedom depends on taking away the freedom of others, then you are not free. You have never been free because we have never been free. That Sullivan campaign marked just the beginning of a 100-year war waged against hkwen nations all over this land to subjugate us. The final massacres of Bear River, Sand Creek, Marias, and Wounded Knee finally broke the spirit of indigenous uprising. It marked the beginning of containment and the reservation system. After the 1890s, that military state turned to hyper-policing our communities to demoralize us, humiliate us, and violently assimilate us. They tried everything. Mass hangings, shooting hkwen people crossing our territory freely, taking away our children and putting them into residential schools where they were beaten, shamed, sexually assaulted, and stripped of our powerful community identity. Today, they incarcerate us, harass us at the borders, deny us healthcare, or when healthcare is provided, they use it as a tool to sterilize our women. In some communities, over 50% of women were sterilized in the Indian Health Service. 50%. They illegally dump waste on our territories to continue to poison our land and waters. Imagine not being able to breastfeed your children. Imagine dying in your early 30s of cervical stomach or throat cancer associated to chemical exposure. these companies like GM and Alcoa value their profits over our lives. They always have, they always will. That Sullivan campaign is alive and well today. I'll tell you a secret. Your government cheated on their homework. When they sat down to write your constitution, they copied the kaniahe, the great law of peace of my people. And they left out the best parts. Number one, all decision making starts with the Council of Women Leaders. Number two, every individual living under that constitution has the right to call for the removal of their leaders if those leaders have demonstrated a lack of care for the people. We call this the people's fire. Anyone can light it. You have the right to light that fire. The women and the people should always have the final say in all matters. If you want to live on Onondowaga land and use Onondowaga ideas to run your government, then you better fucking get it right. So to you settlers, I say open your eyes. Myself and every black and brown person standing here today or not, with our ancestors proudly standing behind us, we are living proof that you will never take away who we are. We are the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren of the ones you couldn't kill. Mm-hmm. The ones who hid, say that again? Grandchildren and great-grandchildren of the ones you could not kill. The ones who hid, the ones who starved and fought to hang on to what is most important to us. Now we, black and brown people, we may carry with us that scar of intergenerational trauma, of loss and conflict and consistent dehumanization. But the fire that burns inside of us burns hotter and brighter than any bullshit the settler state and its uniformed thugs could throw our way. To the settler state, I say, you are lucky that we only want equanimity and not revenge. Yeah. Our spirit is derived from the land, from the clay of which we were created. The land answers to us. Until every last acre has been destroyed, until every last hkwen has been sent back home, we will never stop fighting for the coming faces of our future generations. We will speak our languages, we will conduct our ceremonies, we will carry out our duties to the natural world and to each other. We will not believe the white lie anymore. Now, settlers, if you listen to black and brown folk, we might just save your lives.
Yeah.
Because this system you created will leave nothing but a wasteland for your great-grandchildren. So you need to start listening right now. We say it is the duty of the land to provide for us everything we need to live a full and peaceful life. We say it is the duty of the sun to remind us every day of the love and power of creation. It is the duty of all people to protect and care for all of this. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love and support one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Now it's your turn. It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love.
We must love.
We must love.
We must love.
And support each other.
And support each other.
The only thing we have to lose is our chains.
The only thing to have